Hey there people of the internet, my name is Sivana and welcome to my studio. Today's video I'm going to be making more Michigan Pokemon, and for the regional bug I decided to make snails, because they're just adorable and I love them, and I got some pet snails from the creek last summer and they're just wonderful. So yeah, now let's get into the drawing. So here are all the sketches, because OBS decided it wanted to update while I was recording, so I lost the first 30 minutes. I do add a little bit to the sketches before going one by one to fully finish each stage. I thought it would be neat to have a kind of Eevee style bug, in that it can evolve into different things depending on the environment. First up is Smollusc, a small mollusk, who is just a happy little snail baby ready to go on an adventure. I love him, and I really want to learn how to make plushes so I can have my own Smollusc among my other Poke plushies. Excuse me. I played around with its colors because I kind of just wanted it to be a generic snail, but also look like it could turn into one of the other things. And I took a more traditional Pokemon approach to the shading, which I think looks really good and is what I've been doing with all of my Michigan Pokemon since. Next we have Mosswirl, the garden snail with a little garden of its own on its shell. And I guess I should say that Smollusc is a pure bug type and Mosswirl is bug and grass. So my idea for these evolutions is that they evolve to adapt and take on the properties of their environment. So to get a Mosswirl, you would need to level up your Smollusc in a grassy terrain, and if you wanted one of the others, you would need to be in their specified terrain as well. But I'll talk about them when we get there. I also wanted to color them in such a way that they all look slick and shiny, cause snails are slimy and moist. I changed the base color of Smollusc a little bit to be brighter, and then I do it again later, but then we go on to Venoswirl, the bug poison type that evolves from leveling up your Smollusc in a swampy or city terrain. Swamps because a lot of poison Pokemon hang out in bogs, and the city because of all that good tasty pollution. Venoswirl is loosely based on a cone snail, which are a venomous type of sea snail, or at least a snail that lives in the water, and it shoots out a harpoon to paralyze its prey before eating them, which I thought would just be really cool for a Pokemon. I figured Venoswirl could crouch down and shoot his harpoon pompadour to poison its foes and then reel it back in to eat it. I sampled the colors from different cone snail shells and messed around with it until I found a combination that felt both natural looking and fit the poison type. Now for Galswirl, which is based on the giant African land snail, and becomes bug ground type. I also had to take a break while doing its line work because I had forgotten to eat all day. Sometimes whenever I'm doing art, I just forget about food and I get really shaky, so yeah. Galswirl evolves from Smollusc when exposed to muddy or sandy terrain, and I wanted it to be the biggest because it's a giant African land snail, And I gave it little feet because I saw some art of like snail puppies and I just thought they were super cute. I really wanted a giant African land snail, but unfortunately they're not legal in the US because they're an invasive species because they just eat everything. All snails do is eat and poop and make babies, just like all the dinosaurs. Now for my personal favorite, Syrinswirl, based on a sea snail, the Syrinx aruanus. I will put that up on screen because that's hard to say. And she is a bug water type. It also sounds like Siren, which is a fish lady who sings to lure men into the water to drown them. Anyway, I love this one. She's just so pretty and happy, and evolves from leveling up Smollusc in a watery terrain. Also, all of these snails are genderless because real snails don't have a single gender or sex because they have both reproductive organs, which is a thing I learned when doing research about my little creek snails, and I just thought it would be unique and fun to share. And onto the background where I add some circles, add their types, and do some other stuff. This is basically going to be the template for all my Michigan Pokemon going forward because it just looks really nice and clean. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my snail babies and their shiny forms. I've been really into the Michigan Pokemon groove, so that might be all I post for the next few videos. Anyway, thanks again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell, and as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.